Hello and welcome to sunny Lancashire, England. At least it's not raining anymore like it was last week, if you remember. I was soaking wet that time. Yeah, the sun's out, spring's in the air. It looks as though, warmer days are ahead, hopefully. So I was talking to my son recently about changes, and he was born in 2003, so when he was born, a lot of these changes had taken place, whereas me and the other Gen X's and other baby boomers have had to go through lots of changes over the past 30 years. For the sake of clarity, baby boomers are people born between 1945, I think, and 1964, and Gen X are the ones born from 1965 to 1980. This is not a poor me or an E when I were a lad type of video, and I've done something similar before on these lines about getting used to technology. But yeah, sometimes we have got to give ourselves a bit of credit. Us people who are between 40 and onwards, we've had a lot to embrace, had a lot to deal with, lots of changes. So yeah, we need to give ourselves a pat on the back sometimes and acknowledge it. One of the first things that we had to deal with in regards to change was when we were very, very young, really. That was the metric system, going from inches to centimetres. I think this confused my mum and dad more than anything, because I'd be going home showing them schoolwork in centimetres and they'd be going, what the heck's that? It's inches, son, it's inches. And as well as that, I don't know if anybody else remembers this, or we're just confined to people of my age. That is ITA. Now ITA was a kind of writing which was meant to prepare children for proper writing, but it just confused the heck out of us. It was like, it's hard to describe, but certain, like ing would be like an I and an N, and like next to the N was like a little tail going down. It was mind-boggling, really, why somebody thought, I know what, let's just introduce that to people, young boys and girls when they're first learning to read. I was like similar to the metric system. I'd go home and I'd be showing that my writing to my mum and dad. And I remember my mum, for one thing, she just sort of like said, "What? This is not right, Paul. This is wrong. You should be writing it like this. This is wrong." So while at school they would say teaching you something one way, at home they were saying it was wrong way. So I don't know, that was just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. And I'm pretty sure that hampered my learning early on, because all of a sudden then it was dropped and we all had to learn the proper way to write and read. Growing up, we started off with 2 channels, then 3 channels, and eventually 4 channels, and then video. On a bit of a lighter note, the onset of videos and video recordings, VHS, Betamax, was something new, something refreshing, something great. You could actually record Dallas if you wanted to, and watch it later on. You could go to the video shop, local video shops. There were loads of them all over the place. Go and get the latest video, yourself a copy of, I don't know, E.T. or The Evil Dead. Take it home with you and watch it on video. Rent it for, I don't know, £1 or something. Take it back the next day. And that was a change, but it was a nice change, I think. And to carry on with that theme, let's talk about the transformation from vinyl to CDs, DVDs. Yes, in my opinion, that was a great move. I loved CDs. I still love CDs, DVDs. So much better. Vinyls used to scratch, playing it, and dog will nudge the turntable, and all of a sudden you got a scratch on the record. Very hard to get rid of. And then videotapes would snap. So getting the DVDs, that was great. Such a great move forward. And people would then just basically replace their vinyl collection with CD collection, with the video collection with DVD collections. And yeah, as we know now, we all vinyl's back and very popular. And I shudder to think where my vinyls are. They were left at my ex's, and I did get a chance to get them back, but I didn't get them back, so I don't like to think about that at all. Now it's mostly digital, isn't it? And I don't really like that. I do like a physical. I like to have a physical thing in my hand. I like to buy a physical DVD and instead of CD. They'll come back. They will. So digital music, yeah, digital. You can get a film, as we know, on some Netflix device or whatever, and you can just sit and watch a film. I do feel as though that a lot of them is taking the mickey, really, when you rent something on say Amazon, paying a lot of money for it. It's an old film or something like that. But anyway, that's what it is now, digitally. Digital music and film. Which brings me to the internet, really. There we are. Another major change that we had to deal with. My first memory of the internet was when I got a PC. It had 1 gig. It had 1 gig of memory in my PC. And it was the old Tower one, I think. Yeah, 1 gig. All of my videos are more than 1 gig. And yeah, I think I remember emails, and then seeing somebody who had the internet had a short story accepted on a magazine, and they had a website, and I went to it at my friend's house and was able to look on the internet at. I'm mentioning my name and my story. So obviously I got myself the internet. Remember the old dial-up? Yeah, we had quite a few dial-up ones with modems, etc. And then now obviously we have routers, whatever. And yeah, when you explain something like that to a 20-year-old, they're like, yeah, because they've had it all the time, they've had it all their life, whereas we still get into grips with some aspects of it. But we've got to grips with internet banking, I think, and scams, spam. In the early days, they all spam emails. I mean, what people fell for them, I think. I mean, I didn't actually get into any bother with them, but yeah, I did believe a few of them at the time. Obviously now we're more alert, and obviously kids in the 20s and below, they can spot one off a mile away, can't they, really? And then obviously let's talk about mobile phones, shall we? Yeah. probably about 2005 when I got my first mobile phone. It was the old Nokia brick. Now we advanced since then, eh? Now we do our internet banking on the phone, we do everything on the phone. Little tiny computers. Here we are. It's an older one actually, because I'm recording with my newer version. So I record my videos on my phone, so yeah, recording YouTube videos on the phone. We do a lot of things on our phones nowadays, don't we? Really. And is it getting too much? I think if you want a doctor's appointment, you've got to do it on your computer or your phone. Get the app. And it doesn't always bug you whenever you want to use an app that you've not used for maybe a couple of weeks. You've got to do an update before you can actually use it. So it pisses me off, right? That off, yeah. Sometimes I just want to go back to basics. Back to how it used to be in 1985. But, I mean, a lot of the changes have been good. But then, some of them being good, then they've been made into something that's not so good. The internet is great, but certain aspects of it are just horrendous, really. It brings out a lot of nastiness. Social media, feedback, you know, you put a post up on somewhere and you get slagged off. Yeah. But on the whole, it has been okay. But so yeah, as 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90-year-olds, we've had to deal with a lot of change, and like I said earlier on, it's not a poor me type of video or when I were a lad type video. It's just how it is, really. How we've had to adapt to change. So I mean, like an old question in an interview, isn't there? Tell me how you've adapted to change. Well, I'm a Gen X. What more do you need? And is there more change coming? Well, I suppose the onset of AI is already here, isn't it? Some aspects of AI are great. Some are not so good. But I guess we'll see. I don't like the idea of robots. I don't like the idea of jobs being lost because of AI. It seems to be like we're on a fast-moving ship where this is being thrust upon us. AI is being, here, have some AI, here, have it now, quick, and you're like, well, I didn't ask for this. Then you go on a search engine and you search something and it's got Copilot, and you're like, I don't really want that. Although, it's helpful in many ways. But what kind of other changes do you think we're going to get? It'd be interesting to see what you think as well. What kind of changes are coming? That, by the way, that was my chair, if you heard a squeak. Not anything else. Honest. Anyway, so yeah, thank you for watching again, and tune in next week for more riveting stuff on Never Too Late or Early. Thanks very much. See you later.